Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Material in the top layer of the surface of the earth in which plants can grow, especially with reference to its quality or use. Good agricultural soil. The part of the Earth's surface consisting of humus and disintegrated rock. Make soiled, filthy, or dirty. Don't soil your clothes when you play outside. The state of being covered with unclean things. The geographical area under the jurisdiction of a sovereign state. American troops were stationed on Japanese soil. Material in the top layer of the surface of the earth in which plants can grow, especially with reference to its quality or use. The part of a scene, or picture, that lies behind objects in the foreground. He posed her against a background of rolling hills. A rational motive for a belief or action. The grounds for their declaration. Hit or reach the ground. A relation that provides the foundation for something. Cover with a primer. Apply a primer to. A connection between an electrical device and a large conducting body, such as the Earth, which is taken to be at zero voltage. Fix firmly and stably. Use as a basis for, found on. Bring to the ground. The storm grounded the ship. The solid part of the Earth's surface. He dropped the logs on the ground. The loose soft material that makes up a large part of the land surface. The first or preliminary coat of paint or size applied to a surface. A position to be won or defended in battle, or as if in battle. They gained ground step by step. A relatively homogeneous percept extending back of the figure on which attention is focused. Art. The surface, as a wall or canvas, prepared to take the paint for a painting. Confine or restrict to the ground. After the accident, they grounded the plane and the pilot. Connect to a ground. Ground the electrical connections for safety reasons. Hit a ground ball. He grounded to the second baseman. Hit onto the ground. Instruct someone in the fundamentals of a subject. Place or put on the ground. Throw to the ground in order to stop play and avoid being tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Material in the top layer of the surface of the earth in which plants can grow, especially with reference to its quality or use. The land had never been plowed. The territory occupied by a nation. He returned to the land of his birth. A politically organized body of people under a single government. An industrialized land. United States inventor who incorporated Polaroid film into lenses and invented the one-step photographic process, 1909 to 1991. Extensive landed property, especially in the country, retained by the owner for his own use. The family owned a large estate on Long Island. Reach or come to rest. The bird landed on the highest branch. Bring into a different state. This may land you in jail. The people who live in a nation or country. Arrive on shore. The ship landed in Pearl Harbor. Cause to come to the ground. The pilot managed to land the airplane safely. Agriculture considered as an occupation or way of life. There's no work on the land anymore. The solid part of the Earth's surface. The plane turned away from the sea and moved back over land. Shoot at and force to come down. The enemy landed several of our aircraft. Territory over which rule or control is exercised. He made it the law of the land. A domain in which something is dominant. A land of make-believe. Bring ashore. The drug smugglers landed the heroin on the beach of the island. Deliver a blow. He landed several blows on his opponent's head. The land on which real estate is located. He built the house on land leased from the city. Obscene terms for feces. Of roads, not leveled or drained, unsuitable for all-year travel. The part of the Earth's surface consisting of humus and disintegrated rock. The state of being covered with unclean things. Disgraceful gossip about the private lives of other people. Make soiled, filthy, or dirty. Make soiled, filthy, or dirty. Make soiled, filthy, or dirty. Obtained illegally or by improper means. Dirty money. Of a manuscript, defaced with changes. Foul, or dirty, copy. Violating accepted standards or rules. A dirty fighter. Unethical or dishonest. Dirty police officers. Make soiled, filthy, or dirty. Spreading pollution or contamination, especially radioactive contamination. The air near the foundry was always dirty. Vile, despicable. A dirty, or lousy, trick. Contaminated with infecting organisms. Dirty wounds. Soiled or likely to soil with dirt or grime. Dirty unswept sidewalks. Of color, discolored by impurities, not bright and clear. A dirty, or dingy, white. Expressing or revealing hostility or dislike. Dirty looks. Of behavior or especially language, characterized by obscenity or indecency. Dirty words. Unpleasantly stormy. There's dirty weather in the offing. Make soiled, filthy, or dirty. The state of being covered with unclean things. An offensive or indecent word or phrase. The state of being covered with unclean things. Any substance considered disgustingly foul or unpleasant. A state characterized by foul or disgusting dirt and refuse. A thick fatty oil, especially one used to lubricate machinery. The state of being covered with unclean things. Lubricate with grease. Grease the wheels. The state of being covered with unclean things. An act that brings discredit to the person who does it. A soiled or discolored appearance. The wine left a dark stain. A symbol of disgrace or infamy. Make dirty or spotty, as by exposure to air, also used metaphorically. The state of being covered with unclean things. Color for microscopic study. Color with a liquid dye or tint. People knew how to stain glass a beautiful blue in the Middle Ages. Microscopy. A dye or other coloring material that is used in microscopy to make structures visible. Produce or leave stains. Red wine stains the tablecloth. A region marked off for administrative or other purposes. The geographical area under the jurisdiction of a sovereign state. An area of knowledge or interest. His questions covered a lot of territory. A tangible and visible entity. An entity that can cast a shadow. The goal intended to be attained, and which is believed to be attainable. The sole object of her trip was to see her children. A tangible and visible entity. An entity that can cast a shadow. It was full of rackets, balls and other objects. Be averse to or express disapproval of. My wife objects to modern furniture. Computing. A discrete item that provides a description of virtually anything known to a computer. In object-oriented programming, objects include data and define its status, its methods of operation and how it interacts with other objects. Express or raise an objection or protest or criticism or express dissent. She never objected to the amount of work her boss charged her with. Grammar. A constituent that is acted upon. The object of the verb. The focus of cognitions or feelings. Objects of thought. The third planet from the Sun, the planet we live on. A connection between an electrical device and a large conducting body, such as the Earth, which is taken to be at zero voltage. The concerns of this life is distinguished from heaven and the afterlife. The solid part of the Earth's surface. The Earth shook for several minutes. The loose soft material that makes up a large part of the land surface. They dug into the earth outside the church. Connect to the earth. Earth the circuit. Hide in the earth like a hunted animal. Once thought to be one of four elements composing the universe, Empedocles. The abode of mortals, as contrasted with heaven or hell. It was hell on earth. Cause to change. Make different. Cause a transformation. Add a modifier to a constituent. Make less severe or harsh or extreme. Please modify this letter to make it more polite. Insert words into texts, often falsifying it thereby. Cause to change. Make different. Cause a transformation. The advent of the automobile may have altered the growth pattern of the city. Become different in some particular way, without permanently losing one's or its former characteristics or essence. Remove the ovaries of. Make an alteration to. This dress needs to be altered. Lay aside, abandon, or leave for another. The car changed lanes. Cause to change. Make different. Cause a transformation. The discussion has changed my thinking about the issue. Exchange or replace with another, usually of the same kind or category. He changed his name. An event that occurs when something passes from one state or phase to another. The change was intended to increase sales. Become different in some particular way, without permanently losing one's or its former characteristics or essence. Her mood changes in accordance with the weather. Give to, and receive from, one another. Would you change places with me? Become deeper in tone. His voice began to change when he was 12 years old. change from one vehicle or transportation line to another. She changed in Chicago on her way to the East Coast. A difference that is usually pleasant. It is a refreshing change to meet a woman mechanic. A different or fresh set of clothes. She brought a change in her overnight bag. A relational difference between states, especially between states before and after some event. He attributed the change to their marriage. A thing that is different. He inspected several changes before selecting one. Change clothes. Put on different clothes. Coins of small denomination regarded collectively. He had a pocketful of change. Money received in return for its equivalent in a larger denomination or a different currency. He got change for a 20 and used it to pay the taxi driver. Remove or replace the coverings of. Father had to learn how to change the baby. The action of changing something. The change of government had no impact on the economy. The balance of money received when the amount you tender is greater than the amount due. I paid with a 20 and pocketed the change. The result of alteration or modification. There were marked changes in the lining of the lungs. Undergo a change. Become different in essence, losing one's or its original nature. She changed completely as she grew older. The state of being unsanitary. The state of being unsanitary. Obscenity in speech or writing. The state of containing dirty impurities. A demarcated area of the earth. 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 Arable land that is worked by plowing and sowing and raising crops. A rural area where farming is practiced. Arable land that is worked by plowing and sowing and raising crops. Land in a coastal area. Surface layer of ground containing a mat of grass and grass roots. Low-lying alluvial land near a river.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.